Today I'm giving 3 sellers the chance to get ahead of the competition and snoop around each other's houses.
It's a statement, but it's been lost with all this, dare I say, not necessarily junk, but a lot of clutter.
One house needs to grow up.
Things like the stuffed toys. I mean, I know where I'd like to put them.
And one recapture its youth.
This carpet has to go. 30-odd years ago, it was the height of fashion, but things move on.
As they make over their homes, they encounter DIY disasters.
Which side is it leaking? God, this is stretching it to the limit.
And makeover nightmares.
Oh, I've no idea what to do with this now.
Can any of them win an offer from my buyers?
I think it ticks everything we're looking for, really.
Home of the full Monty, the Yorkshire city of Sheffield is currently riding high on a regeneration boom, as last year's house prices proved, with a rise of 6.4%. Great news for my sellers, who are looking to take full advantage of a red-hot property market and sell to my first-time buyers, Lindsay and Grant.
So, guys, this is the next step, isn't it? Is it exciting?
We've only just started looking, really, so we've only seen a few properties, so it's still exciting for us.
If I asked you to paint a picture of your perfect house, what would it be?
Ideally, we'd like a decent-sized garden, decent-sized kitchen, quite like a cosy feel of a property.
Do you like old? Do you like modern?
I think generally we like character, and it probably a bit older.
Is this going to be a family home?
That's our plan, is hopefully start a family.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
For that character-packed 3-bedroom family home with a garden big enough for any future kids to run free, Lindsay and Grant have a budget of up to 190 grand. I've lined up 3 houses, but all need a lot of attention before they get a look. First up, it's retirees Anne and Peter, who want to move to Scotland to be closer to family.
Our son moved up to Scotland, and last year him and his partner made us grandparents, and now we've decided to move up there.
But with their 3-bed semi stuck in the 1970s, this couple are staying stuck in Sheffield.
We've done all the decorating ourselves, including wallpapering, painting, and with me being a perfectionist, I like things finished off properly.
So you've got your work cut out, Pete.
My secret to a successful marriage is let it go in one ear and straight out of the other, then make out you're interested.
This 3-bed semi has the space Lindsay and Grant are after, but it's functional over flamboyant, and its retro styling is decades out of date. It's the most expensive of my 3 properties today, on the market at £189,950. Next up, it's fun-loving civil servant Fiona and neighbour Fee. Fiona's getting divorced and wants to move on, but her 4-bedroom semi has been on the market for 18 months now.
I've had a few viewings. Unfortunately, no offers as yet. The house has been too big, it's been too small.
Fiona's bold attempts at home improvements have had a big impact on her home.
Not that advanced in DIY, although I did bring down a couple of beams in here with a hammer, but luckily the house didn't cave in.
Safety conscious then?
The layout of the ground floor is quite unusual. Lots of nooks and crannies.
But Fiona's not just knocked through, she's also tried to dull things down in a desperate attempt to get the place sold.
I've tried to neutralise the decor of the house, ready for it to go on the market. So my daughter's bedroom isn't like a bright pink cake.
Funny, still looks pink to me. This modern 4-bed semi might have the large living room, but it's badly laid out, and the kids' rooms are very cluttered, despite Fiona's best efforts to pare them back. It does, however, offer a 4th bedroom, and this property's on the market at £182,500. Last up is school marketing officer Rae and photographer Colin. They snapped each other up 3 years ago, and now Rae and 4-year-old daughter Ada are planning to move in with Colin.
My house used to be my grandparents' house, so it's got a lot of history and a lot of family history, so I'm really looking forward to having them there. And
There's a bit more space than we've got here, really.
yeah, upstairs is bigger.
But their shared passion for paraphernalia has meant despite 15 viewings in 1 month, they haven't had a single offer.
A lot of the feedback we've had has been around it's been quite cluttered.
You don't say. The lounge is a mishmash of kiddie clutter, excess furniture and oddly out-of-place objects.
Next door neighbour moved in and gutted her house, including 7 doors, and they have migrated into a bit of a feature.
Yep, that's 7 disused doors, while the 8th works but is hidden away.
We've never really used the front door here, so we ended up putting a piano against it.
Yep, that's useful. And the chaos continues upstairs in the attic.
I've had a lodger living in the attic room here, so it's been 18 months where we've...
Not really gone in the attic.
No.
Well, we didn't go in the attic at all.
But the lodger moved out just under 2 years ago, allowing more of Ray's clutter to move in. This 3-bed terrace has the period charm Lindsay and Grant are looking for, but the mountains of clutter and abandoned attic are going to have them running for the hills. It's the cheapest of my 3 properties, on the market for offers between 160 and 170 grand. It's Anne and Peter's dated semi against Ray and Colin's cluttered terrace and Fiona's stilted semi, all competing for an offer from my buyers Lindsay and Grant. My sellers all get £1,000 and 1 week to make improvements to their homes, but before that they get to have a nosy around each other's houses. First up is Fiona's spacious semi with its bright boudoirs and rabbit warren downstairs.
This has got the potential to be a fantastic family home, but to be honest with you, the layout down here is all wrong and it feels much more like a doctor's waiting room than it does a family living space. If Fiona has any hope of attracting a buyer, she's really got to inject some colour in here and give it a real homely feel.
First in line to snoop are Ray and Colin.
Could do with a clean.
Yeah.
First impressions, it looks quite nice and it's compact.
Ray and Colin get to do something they can't do at home.
Rather novel to be using a front door.
Yeah, it is a bit.
In the living room, Pete and Anne are feeling washed out.
The colour, a bit drab
Quite
towards
bland.
it's white, but
Yeah,
I'd
all
want a bit
white.
more for me.
Yes, I'd like a bit more colouring.
If you've sat at the dining table, you've just got wide empty space, very much like a corridor.
At the other end of the living, dining room, study, kitchen,
It needs a bit of tweaking here and there inside, but the space itself is very good.
I think I would have opened it up more. You could turn things round and open this more into a dining kitchen.
onto that pink palace upstairs, which should be the master bedroom.
They're definitely missing a trick in here.
There definitely needs to...
It looks more like a little girl's room.
I'm not mad keen on the pug stuff, but I'm not an 8-year-old girl. Well, last time I checked. Anyway.
At least this house's kiddie clutter is confined to the bedroom. Up on the top floor, Ray has a realisation about her attic.
The attic ours is just a blank box, whereas this actually does feel like it's got some character.
Or maybe it just has that homely feel that yours lacks. It's on the market for £182,500.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that it's been on the market for over a year.
It's a higher price than I'd pay even for the extra bedroom and off-road parking.
So they're in agreement, the price is on the high side, but Ray and Colin did learn they can't keep ignoring their attic bedroom. Next is Anne and Pete's 3-bed semi, with a well-kept garden and plenty of space downstairs.
This house is immaculate and nothing is out of place, apart from, obviously, the freezer and the tumble dryer. But it does feel a tad old-fashioned. They need to bring the house bang up to date if they've got any hope of moving to Scotland.
First up, it's Fiona and Fee.
This looks nice. Yep, it does. Looks nice and clean. Great bay window. It's lovely, isn't it?
Clean on the outside, chintzy on the inside.
It feels a little dated.
Yeah, it's a bit old-fashioned. I think I've just walked into my grandparents'.
In the dining cum laundry room,
I wouldn't have this tumble dryer in here, would you? And there's a fridge in the dining room, so that doesn't really work, does it? Slightly confused.
not as confused as your house, Fiona.
It's immaculately clean. They really clearly don't have a 4-year-old running around.
Your house isn't just filled with kiddie clutter. In the living room next door, Fiona thinks she spotted the previous owner.
Is that an urn? No, it's more flowers.
Upstairs, Fiona realises there's no mistaking the master bedroom.
They've presented it really nicely. I would just lose some of the decorations, some of the fake flowers.
Downstairs, Ray and Colin have found the well-preserved kitchen.
It's a period piece, isn't it? It's a show home from the 1970s. It's immaculate.
Yeah.
Immaculate, but still out of date. The most expensive of my properties, it could be yours for just under 190 grand.
189,950. I think you're getting more for your money in your house.
But then you're going to want to do quite a lot of work.
Last up is Ray and Colin's Victorian terrace, with 3 double bedrooms and a characterful downstairs.
This has the potential to be a wonderful family home, but potential is the key word because at the moment it is so cluttered that you can't see all the wonderful period features. It just has an air of neglect, which is really not the way to go about selling a house.
First to arrive are Anne and Peter.
Not a lot of garden at the front, but I think they've done reasonably well with it.
With what they've got, yeah. Maintenance-free, as you might say.
They'll need to go up the side entrance because they're not using the front door.
Oh yeah, well spotted.
I'm on them.
In the back door and into the kitchen, Fiona.
It's homely.
Yes,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
nice.
And it's nice to see some authentic features.
Homely feel, exactly what your house needs. Next door, Peter's talking trash in the living room.
There's a statement, but it's been lost with all this, dare I say, not necessarily junk, but a lot of clutter.
Don't think I've ever been in a room with 7 doors in it before.
No, it's maybe 6 too many, isn't it?
Yep. Upstairs, in the abandoned attic bedroom.
When our son used to make a mess of his room,
Yeah.
he used to bell out and say, well, no, get this all cleared up. Really, that's what it needs,
Yeah.
just a bit of clearing up.
Yeah.
Looks as though it needs a little bit of love and attention, doesn't it?
Definitely some TLC.
Yeah. It could be rented out.
Good guess, Fee. It's the cheapest of my 3 properties on the market at a guide price of 160 to 170 grand.
But I do feel like in the kitchen area, there's a lot to do to bring it up to spec and that.
that's
so,
why
and I think a little bit lower, personally.
You know, with the attic space as well. There's that extra space, isn't
There's
there?
3 bedrooms, isn't there? Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm in Sheffield giving 3 sellers a big push to get their homes up to scratch and win an offer from my buyers, Lindsay and Grant.
We'd be willing to look at things that are quite modern, but ideally we'd like a place with quite a bit of character.
Got it. Characterful family home. Let's see what I can do. Snoop's done, and some of my sellers have had their eyes well and truly opened, and some walked around with them firmly shut.
Looking at the other 2 houses, I would say that ours is well finished in a way. You know, all right, you might not like the colour of the carpets and what have you.
Yeah.
I think looking at the other 2 properties, you kind of get more of a feel of maybe what a buyer's looking for.
Ours, it's cluttered, but get rid of the doors.
Yes,
Shift out the piano and the wardrobe.
that's the main
That'd show it in
issue.
the best light.
Yeah.
So they've all realised they need to make improvements, but with £1,000 and a deadline of a week before my buyers turn up, they're going to have their work cut out. Starting with Anne and Pete's 3-bed semi, which is immaculate but dated, and the dining room is also confused.
You have a freezer
Yeah.
in your dining
Yeah.
room, and this thing that we're all covering with our
Yeah.
bottoms.
We had the freezer and the dryer initially out in the garage.
Yeah.
We moved the freezer and the dryer into the house because I was finding it
Yeah.
difficult to go outside.
Might I suggest fresh food for the next 3 weeks? Because I think, in all honesty,
Yeah.
they do need to go back out there. This carpet has to go.
It is the original.
So it was here when you moved in?
It was here when we moved in.
30-odd years ago.
It is, yeah.
It was the height of fashion, but things move on. And then I wanted to talk to you about colour. First thing is to paint out the coving and the skirting board into just an off-white. I've got this fabric that I've picked up that I think would work really well in here. It's very smart. It's very elegant. Because the curtains are very pretty, but they're also quite dated.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm just thinking something like that there, instantly, even just holding that up.
Oh,
Can you see how...
Yeah,
I
I
love
can.
it. I have to
Yeah,
say, I like
can.
it. Striking.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking to just paint the alcoves in something like this cherry red.
Right, yeah.
What do you reckon?
I've discovered colour in other ways, so for me, that's fine.
How would you feel about painting this? You can get masonry paint.
Would it look odd if you just did like
like 1 brick?
No, but if you, say you did that bit there.
If you're going to do it, you've got to have courage in your convictions and do the whole thing.
Dining room design embraced, I hope. Onto the kitchen that time forgot.
It's not the largest kitchen in the world, is it?
No.
But it's served you well for 30
It has,
years, hasn't
yeah.
it? Having all these really tall cupboards either side does tend to make it feel even smaller than it is. I mean, that's the most organised cupboard I've ever seen.
Can I just point out, it's a nightmare for the husband. Because somebody who's not interested in this type of thing, I have to try and remember.
You've not put the peaches next to
it's
them.
exactly. It's an utter nightmare.
In an ideal world, what I would like to see is this whole bank of units out, and it would make the room feel much bigger.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is this brought up to the 21st century in a relatively inexpensive and easy way.
Yeah.
Using good old sticky back plastic.
I've used that in many a day.
Oh, have you?
When we used to have cheap coffee tables.
Now, white gloss units are all the rage now. Lots and lots of people have them. Peel it off, stick it on. Can you see how it's instantly giving it a facelift?
Yeah.
The other thing that works brilliantly, how do you fancy a new marble worktop?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like the idea.
Yes, I do like that idea.
I mean,
right.
instantly transforms it. For me, it's to do with tarting it up and making it look good.
Yeah.
Do you think it's doable?
Obviously, with a bit of help.
Do it, guys, you'll be fine. You delegate, get another man in, sorted. I cannot begin to tell you how much I love these two. I think they are fantastic, and their home is immaculate. It's like a show home, albeit a show home 40 years ago. And I think that's where the problem is. You know, families want modern houses now, and this does feel like it's stuck in a bit of a time warp. If I'm honest with you, I feel like I've given them an awful lot of work to do. But they've taken it on the chin, and I'm just hoping they can get it all done in the 7 days that I've given them.
Our chat with Amanda was great, very interesting. I do like quite a lot of what she said.
I really am confused, really, especially for kitchen. But
Yes.
the idea of using sticky back plastic on a worktop is sacrilege to me.
Oh, keep an open mind, Pete, that's all I ask. Pete and Anne swing into action and declutter the dining room.
Getting the tumbler dryer and the freezers completely revolutionised this room now. You can see there's so much space, really.
Oh dear.
In the kitchen, Anne's in a sticky situation.
That's not quite right, because it's gone up there.
Ah, from a distance. But you can see a bit of ruffling at bottom there.
I think it would be better painted in the long run, because then it'll just keep it neater.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, to be honest.
OK, at least you tried it. Next door, Pete's cracking on with the fireplace. Back in the kitchen, the sticky saga continues as Anne tries out my marble effect vinyl.
There we go. Can you come and have a look at this?
Right. No, I'm not struck, to be honest. I would get it off myself.
Right, that's the end of that then. Next stop is Fiona's 4-bed semi with the girly pink master bedroom and that bland open plan downstairs.
So, Fiona, your house has been on the market for about 18 months now.
About that.
And nobody's bought it.
I know.
How very dare they?
I think this room is just a bit too long.
Too big. The people of Sheffield want little houses. Well, I think that this is a great space, but I think at the moment it has a tendency to feel like you've cleared everything, ready for a party.
That's kind of why I bought the house.
But you're not having a party at the moment, you're selling your house. So I think what we need to do is for you to rezone the spaces.
OK.
First things first, get rid of one of these sofas. So this is your sitting area, and then your middle area, have that as a home office. And then obviously right at the end, create a proper dining space. I think the other thing is the blinds. My mother has these blinds.
Oh, thanks.
So I better not diss them. No. Hundreds of people have these blinds. I hate them. I can't tell you how much I hate them. Let's talk colours. Because you obviously love red. How are you with blues? This is what I have in mind. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do, actually, yeah.
What do you think, Fee?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's
And
right
I-
up your street,
Yeah.
that,
And I
isn't it?
think it would work really well with the red, white and blue that you've got going on here. Make it look slick, make it look fresh, and it will fly out.
Let's hope so.
We need to go upstairs now.
Upstairs, Fiona needs to reclaim her master bedroom.
So this is your daughter's bedroom,
Yes.
isn't it? Right. What do you think this gives the impression of? I mean, obviously it's a kid's bedroom, isn't it?
It would be the master bedroom.
Exactly. This does not feel like a master bedroom. Now, I understand that this needs to stay as your daughter's bedroom, but we need to address all that stuff up there. There's a lot of gum. There's more gum in here than there is downstairs.
Yeah.
So we need to... But what we need to do is really declutter this. Things like the stuffed toys. I mean, I know where I'd like to put them.
Well, some have disappeared.
Excellent. Mysteriously
overnight.
They found themselves in a charity shop. But they do need to go at
That's
some
fine.
point or another.
I'd rather just bin it, actually.
Do you know what? Do it then. Try and imagine that the removal firm is turning up there tomorrow.
And what do I not need and get shot?
Exactly.
Okay.
I think we could give her a bit more of a grown-up bedroom. These are ripe for painting, completely. These come up an absolute treat when you paint them. And I thought, let's be a bit playful. Does she like butterflies?
Yes.
Look.
She will when she sees that.
Isn't that?
That's lovely.
Isn't that lovely?
That's lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got enough painting and wallpapering to keep you both going until you retire. Are we slightly terrified?
If I get a little help from my friends, I'm OK. But I'm saying that, and then I'll probably...
And I think that by refreshing and revamping 2 of the key areas, it will certainly help go a long way to getting someone to say,
brilliant,
yes,
thank you.
please, I'll have that. 18 months is an awfully long time for a house to be on the market and not even receive any offers. Now, I'm no Einstein, but it tells me that something is wrong. Fiona's already admitted that she's mentally moved on from this house, that she's fallen out of love with it. And the trouble is with that, if the owner's fallen out of love with it, how on earth is anybody else going to fall in love with it?
I love the wallpaper upstairs. I think my daughter will go mad for it.
I think it's going to make a massive difference. I think it'll look really good.
Nobody's coming in the house without a paintbrush for the next week.
Speaking of paint, they're heading for a lesson in shabby chiking to add some glamour to all that pine furniture that makes her place look drab. Shop owner Anna is on hand to give a little advice.
So a couple of coats of the paint after you've washed it down with some sugar soap. There's no reason to sand
This is a bit more rustic, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
And in fairness, you probably get most of it out of one tin.
Really?
Dining room tables, chairs. I would probably recommend a couple of coats of wax just to have that durability.
To be honest, even if I did, I've got 2 children, so it wouldn't last very long. So.
Yeah. Have you thought of any colour schemes?
I have. We've gone for some dramatic for me wallpaper and things, so we thought that we would
keep it fairly neutral.
Yeah, but the table we're going to do a blue.
Knowledge and now painting power gained. Time to buy in bulk, head home and have a go at giving her old pine furniture a new look.
Right, brilliant. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
My final visit is at Rae and Colin's, starting with that living room that looks like Steptoe's storeroom.
I'm going to talk about the clutter. How many of these toys do you think she plays with on a daily basis?
Pony at the moment.
Right, so that little pony down there is the one
She can
thing.
stay.
What I would like to see is for you to reclaim this room and make it a grown-up space. What is going on with these doors?
Next door, we're completely gutting the house and got rid of the solid wood doors, which I thought was brilliant time to replace the doors here.
Front door. Why is it behind a curtain?
Add space in the room because you don't lose half of it to a corridor.
What I would like to see is to get that door open. In terms of DIY skills, are either of you very handy at that? I can tell by that laugh that that's a no.
Ray is. I'm not. My dad's pretty hands-on, he's engineering background.
Does he know that he's about to come into this house for the next 7 days?
Not yet.
Have you ever looked under this carpet?
It's a pretty dire state under there.
Floorboards. Buyers love
Yeah.
original features. If you can't, then think about getting a new carpet in here.
Yeah.
Because again, it just gives that air of that it's not been really looked after.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's what's stopping people making offers.
It's time to head upstairs and get to grips with one abandoned attic.
So I sort of felt like I was dicing with death coming up that staircase. What's going on with those stairs?
No idea, actually. The room's been rented out for about 18 months.
Did you rent it out to a giant?
No, I have no idea what happened, to be quite honest.
Don't know what's wrong with them, but they definitely need someone to come and fix them because this is such a brilliant space in your house. I almost feel like this could be turned into the master bedroom. But at the moment, it feels like the junk room, doesn't it? It needs a lick of paint. On this wall, I was thinking a lovely blue, just to show you the difference. What do you think?
That's a really lovely colour.
Will you reclaim this as your bedroom?
Tempting.
Then the other thing I was thinking that you could do, maybe a collection of vintage plates above the bed could look stunning. I found these downstairs in your kitchen. Now, these obviously aren't vintage plates, but I really like the patterns on these. And I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you put mismatched crockery up against it. It's quite striking, isn't it?
Like a Moroccan feel.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
You're banned from bringing anything back. Is it lethal taking her to a charity shop?
He's as bad as me.
Oh, really? So in a nutshell, but up here, massive declutter, lot of painting.
Yeah.
So I'm having to leave via the back door because I can't actually get out the front door. I can't tell you how much this house frustrates me because I think it is absolutely beautiful. There are some fantastic period features in here, but you can't see any of them because there's so much clutter and so much junk. 7 days, £1,000, it is completely doable, but these two have to get really ruthless when it comes to decluttering.
Quite inspirational what Amanda had to say about it all, really.
Clutter came up, which we were expecting, so that's no great surprise.
I hope I don't regret sending a pair of cereal hoarders to an antique shop. Just plates for the attic, remember. And they walk straight past them.
We don't need a jade camel, though, I'm afraid.
Seriously? Pretty plates for the attic feature wall. Was I not clear?
No, you don't need cannon bookends.
And like a magpie, he's off. But Ray's found something. At least one of them is focusing.
Carl?
Yeah?
Let's put the vinyl down for a moment, dear.
Ooh, I like that. How much is it?
I don't know. No label. Let's go find out.
£20, that one.
Brilliant.
You've got the full.
Good start, but you'll need more than one. Here in Sheffield, my 3 sellers are flat out improving their homes, hoping to win an offer from my buyers, Lindsay and Grant.
I think it's the feel of the property that's quite important for us. We want something that feels warm.
At Peter and Anne's chintzy semi, the kitchen isn't just out of date, it's overcrowded with cabinets. I suggested removing an entire row, but when Pete installed them, he cleverly used them as support for the ceiling.
So this false ceiling I put in, it rests on the top too. If you take these away now to collapse, is that okay then?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Let's get rocking and rolling.
Pete's keen to get stuck in and help the builders, but his tools are as ancient as his house.
This is Pete's cordless drill. This is what I used for donkey's years, before the cordless drill come out. Marvellous. You don't need power, you can get anywhere with it. Neat and clean, love it.
I'm seeing a theme here. Dated decor, dated drill. Thankfully, the builders have got their own power tools to help them get the job done in time. Over at Rae and Colin's chaotic house, the declutter has finally begun. And the piano that was barricading the door has its final swan song. Bye.
Bye.
So when Rae gets home, she has a brand new experience.
Oh my goodness. It makes the room feel bigger, doesn't it? What should we put here?
Lots of things.
Lots of things. Should we put all your toys there? Yeah. Amanda would love it if she found all your toys just there.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. All fired up while Colin is at work, Rae combats the rest of the clutter in the lounge. On a roll, she even rips up the tatty old carpet.
Oh, I've no idea what to do with this now. The central area, I think, looks all right. It's the outskirts that have got years of paint splatter and some really dodgy fitting jobs around the edge. Is it worth sanding it all down or just stick a carpet on top of it?
Original period features are always worth showing off. Buyers love them. At Fiona's confused and colourless semi, she's following my advice. By disguising the dated pine with a paint job, helped by daughter Madeline and son Joseph.
Oh, that's lovely. What do you think to that, kids?
That's really nice.
It sort of just brought it to life, particularly with the furniture that we have, and it's quite dull.
Cheeky, but he's right. He's also now on painting duty.
Try and do it in straight lines, it'd probably be easier.
With Joe's hands superglued to a paintbrush, Fiona moves upstairs in an effort to mature the master bedroom.
All the decorators out there will be screaming because I'm starting in the middle of it, hey?
She's right, though. Always start by cutting in around the edges. At Anne and Peter's, the dated dining room carpet is out, and the kitchen cupboards are getting that all-important facelift. But he's gone against my idea of using sticky back plastic with an old-fashioned paint job instead.
It's the right thing to use rather than that contact paper. It's going to look lovely and sleek.
Inside, the dated dining room is also being dragged into the 21st century, but I'm not sure that terracotta coving was ever on trend. Next door, having avoided one disaster by bracing the kitchen ceiling to avoid collapse, Pete discovers a problem with his neat but ancient plumbing.
Yeah, but there'll be water coming from there. It's got what? Which side is it leaking?
That side.
God, this is stretching it to the limit.
There's a stumbling block with a valve on washing machine.
It's seized on because it's been on donkeys here.
The valve that's the manufacturers put on the washing machines got stuck. It's seized onto pipework under
Yeah,
cupboard.
but it's all me tattle. That's what's me off.
At least you're having fun, Anne. Once Pete has his tackle, or to you and I his tools, he can replace that knackered old valve, stopping the leak and avoiding a costly visit from a plumber.
That's it.
Do you want that other shelf?
I've done it.
Disaster averted, it's onto the kitchen floor. The lino goes down and is a very effective and cheap alternative to tiles at a cost of £91. At Rae and Colin's, DIY disaster Colin is nowhere to be seen. Dear old Dad Martin has come to do all the jobs that Colin can't quite handle, like fix that wonky step I nearly broke my neck on.
Some people actually got the natural attribute for this sort of DIY stuff and some people haven't. He knows what his limitations are and that's when he brings me in. That one. is reasonably solid, so it can work from there downwards. And just take the 2 bottom steps out. If it's a straight step, it'd be easier to cut the boxes out, pull them out, and then reinforce them underneath and put them back together again.
At least I can rely on you, Martin. I wonder if the international mystery man of makeover will ever make an appearance. Meanwhile, Rae is injecting some colour into that attic bedroom, and she's gone with my idea of a bold blue.
I really, really like it. So we've been out and bought a tub.
With Colin nowhere to be seen, Rae defaults to daughter Ada, who's more than happy to have a go at painting.
That's my rainbow.
The idea is not to paint a picture, but to just paint the whole wall.
At Fiona's, her makeover has ground to a halt, and there's still a shed load of painting to be done.
Fortunately, some friends have offered to come round and help today, which is great because me and the 2 children's arms are about to drop off, I think.
No sooner has she called for help, the cavalry arrive.
Here you go, plenty to do.
And it's all hands on deck. Unfortunately, Fiona's second-in-command, Fee, has gone AWOL, so it's up to Fiona to take charge of the troops.
If it's static, just paint it.
Downstairs, friend Ken gets to work wallpapering the living room walls.
Looks good. Still difficult to think about how the room might look with it all up, but I like it.
At Peter and Anne's, they're just finishing painting the kitchen, and the final thing to go down in the dining room is a new carpet. Top tip, don't wait 30 years to replace a carpet. They don't age like wine.
Quite shattered now, don't know about you.
Yeah, drained.
Drained.
I can just put it like that, drained. But for me, it's marvellous.
What was a confused, cluttered and very dated dining room has been transformed into a calm, inviting space. It just goes to show how honing in on key areas can make a big difference. And all for the cost of £368.
This is the room.
Wow, it looks lovely. Oh, I like that colour on the wall. It's really classy, it's really elegant, and the new carpet has made an incredible difference, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Heck of a difference, yeah.
And by removing some of the units, it's made it so much bigger.
Oh, yeah,
this is a big room now.
For me, the star is that
painted
fireplace.
the fireplace.
Yeah, I did it, lovely.
Now it looks great. Are you pleased with it?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think it really does advertise this house.
This has made a big difference. Can we look at this kitchen?
Yeah.
Lovely, let's go.
The kitchen wasn't just dated, it was cramped and claustrophobic. Removing a row of cupboards has really opened it up, while painting the cupboards a crisp white and putting down a striking lino has dragged it into the 21st century. Total cost £655.
Oh my goodness, look at the difference in here. It has made an incredible difference, hasn't it? Just taking all of those cupboards out.
Yeah.
You didn't go for the vinyl covering, you've painted them and they've come up a treat.
I was a bit worried, Amanda, getting the bubbles and getting it on straight.
The worktops haven't changed either, but they don't look bad because this whole room is so much brighter. What you've done is help people visualise it, I think, a lot better, because you can see, oh, actually, if I just knock that out, I'm going to have that huge expanse looking out onto the garden. I think it's fabulous, and well done the pair of you, because I know I threw a lot at you.
At Rae and Colin's, Colin has finally put in an appearance and is trusted to paint the living room floorboards, under supervision, of course.
There you go.
What do you reckon, Cole?
It's great.
You don't have much opinion on colour.
If looks could kill, you'd be 6 feet under, Rae. After a long night of floor painting, the living room is finally finished.
It's been a couple of snapping moments.
Yeah, there has been.
The floor caused the most aggro. Proved yourself worthy with the paint roller.
Yeah, I suppose I've got a few more men points.
Originally more like a reclamation yard, the living room has been decluttered and transformed with a bold colour scheme and by showcasing those period features. Total cost £636.
I'm coming in through the front door to a completely different room. You have got to be beyond chuffed with this.
Yeah.
It looks completely different.
Love the floorboards. Yeah. Because you were a bit hesitant about that, weren't you? Because you were sort of saying you didn't want it to feel cold.
I think the paint's really lifted it, given it some colour.
Have you enjoyed it? I know it's been stressful and I know it's been a lot of hard work, late nights, early mornings.
You've really enjoyed yourself. I've got more and more into it. No, I've got more into it as we've been going.
This is now the first impression.
Yes.
You bring buyers through the front door, this is what they see, and this sets the tone for the rest of the house.
From abandoned to admired, the attic bedroom has been given a charming character by introducing an inventive feature wall, a vibrant colour scheme and removing the mountains of clutter at a cost of just under £385.
Oh, it is special, isn't it? Look at that.
It suddenly has a personality.
It really does, doesn't it? Count those plates, because when I leave, there might be several spaces. When you think back to 7 days ago, what this place was like, with just stuff everywhere, I find like a clear, clutter-free house hopefully leads to a sort of slightly more serene, clutter-free mind.
Putting stuff back into the living room sort of during the day yesterday and kind of going, OK, well, I've not really got space for this bit of furniture. It's like, yeah, I mean, the room's enormous.
From a personal point of view, I'm gobsmacked at the changes. So if I'm gobsmacked, people that are coming in the door are going to be just blown away. Now it feels like somewhere that you can be proud of.
At Fiona's, the troops rallied and got all the painting finished. Daughter Madeline even gets a sneak preview of the revamped master bedroom.
Right.
Can I open them?
Go on then.
Ah! I love it! I love it! There's no way I'm moving now.
So I have to put you up for sale with the house then?
Yes.
Part of the fixtures and fittings? It's been a long week. It's been an interesting week. I think it's worth it because the house has got its character back.
The entire downstairs had no purpose or personality. By re-establishing distinct areas and decorating playfully, it has given this space a warm and clear identity. Total cost for this room, £573.
I'm very excited. Oh my goodness! Oh, girls, it's beautiful. Pink, Fiona, what do you think?
I think it's amazing. I love the wallpaper.
And just rezoning the whole thing, you know, putting the desk there. I mean, the dining space is just lovely. You've given it 3 different purposes, and it will really appeal to families now. It's a great, great space.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, even the small touches, you know, the colours of cushions and, you know, candles and things. It's those extra touches that actually make it more homely.
It all blends and it all flows, and it's just, yeah, a triumph. The bedroom is what I'm really looking forward to seeing, though.
By removing the kiddie clutter and redecorating with a playful but elegant colour palette, the master bedroom is now presented as a room both children and adults can enjoy, all for just under £475.
Oh, she must be absolutely delighted. Oh, isn't it pretty? How was getting rid of the gumph? Was that easy?
I've been quite ruthless, and my daughter's been very ruthless, actually, which is brilliant.
Can you see how reinstating a master bedroom and rezoning main living space downstairs has just completely transformed it?
It just looks like a different house.
And now there's pride in it. It looks lovely.
I think it's got a personality back.
Yeah, it feels happy again, doesn't it?
You feel worn out. The house feels happy.
In Sheffield, all 3 sellers have made big changes ready to show their homes to my first-time buyers, Lindsay and Grant.
We'd like 2 to 3 bedrooms. We'd like a bit of garden space. Ideally a decent-sized kitchen.
Anne and Peter have brought their old-fashioned house bang up to date.
When buyer comes round, we'll be quite excited.
I mean, it just depends what they're after, really.
Yeah.
This certainly shows it off now downstairs.
Yeah.
Ray and Colin cleared the clutter in their Victorian terrace and uncovered the property's true potential.
It all has felt like a real positive change. It's been really nice, really, to have the ideas from somebody else that I wouldn't necessarily have gone for myself and be challenged a little bit.
Fiona has rezoned and redesigned her entire downstairs and made the bedroom more masterful.
I'm pleased to see the house with a bit more character with it now. I think it's got a bit of sparkle back.
All 3 houses are ready, and it's time to show them to my buyers, Lindsay and Grant. First up, it's Fiona's revamped 3-bed semi.
It's a lovely little semi. Backs onto woodland.
I think it looks nice and seems like a really nice area, really green.
Positive start. Inside, hopefully the newly zoned and freshly decorated downstairs will impress.
Initial impressions?
I think it's a good space.
It's a nice size.
Yeah.
And it feels quite light.
I wouldn't say it's really our style.
Well, let's continue the journey. Let's have a little look upstairs.
Upstairs, let's hope they prefer the decor in the reclaimed master bedroom.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do.
Even the wallpaper?
Yeah, I like that wallpaper.
We can strip things back, we can put our own mark on it, but at the same time we could live in it.
Lots of food for thought.
Yes, definitely.
Price-wise, what do you think it's on the market for?
175.
Okay.
Mark.
I'd say about 180.
182,500. So, thinking caps on, calculators out.
Yeah.
Lukewarm response at Fiona's. Let's hope things heat up at Rae's 3-bed Victorian terrace.
So here we go, my loves. It's a totally different concept. This house was built in 1897.
Yeah, I really like it. It's the kind of style of house that we would go for.
Yes, you see,
really
I kind of clocked that.
This classic outside is a hit. By contrast, the inside is now crisp and contemporary.
What do you think? That's a better smile.
Yeah, I really like the fireplace there. I like the big bay window there, letting a lot of light in. Good amount of space. It's really light, bright. It's just, brilliant.
Like the decor?
Really nice.
I'm not quite sure about the yellow myself, but
that's a lick of paint,
I can work with that. Yeah, that's not an issue.
So it's a good start.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Faces said it all. Now up the newly fixed stairs to the attic that's been given a new lease of life.
What do you think?
Oh, this is great. Yeah. Yeah. I do quite like the colour on the wall. Not 100% taken with the plate. The colour is really bright. It brightens the room up.
Having had a good look around it now, what are your feelings now you're up here?
I think it ticks everything we're looking for, really. I think this is, when we imagined our house, this has a lot of it.
Yeah. So how much do you think this is on the market for?
180?
Oh, I go 170.
Lower.
I'm going to go
Ooh,
lower.
Laurie's drives a hard bargain. It's got a guide price of 160,000.
Ah.
So lower than your top budget. Would give you some room to play with. Whoa.
Yeah. I've got us thinking now.
While Rae and Colin's house is going to be hard to top, just Anne and Pete's property left to view.
In terms of a family home, out of all of them, this is I feel, the biggest, the best proportioned. What do you think?
A bit less character than the last one, but it looks a good size.
Should we get inside and have a look?
Outside didn't wow them. Inside, the kitchen is now light and airy.
What's going through your mind at the moment?
I can see a family in this. I think that's what I like. It has potential in terms of we can make it our own, we can make it how we like it.
I think we can live in it for the time being, but ideally we would want to make it a bigger space.
Next door, let's see what they make of the once dated dining room.
I think it is a bit of a canvas. You can certainly work with it, like the walls.
Yeah.
Try and smooth them down a bit and just create a bit more of a modern feel.
I think we definitely knocked down that wall, and if we could have like doors out into the garden, that would be amazing.
Do you want to get outside and look at the outside space?
This house has really got them thinking. Could it be the forever family home, or is it too big a project?
Now we're talking a totally different ballgame, aren't we?
Yeah. It's lovely out here.
What do you think this is on the market for?
I'm going to go for 170, I think.
I'm going 175.
Right, it's top end. It's 189,950.
Okay.
Right. Lots to think about.
Let's chill out a bit. Let's go find somewhere where we can sit down and we can properly think about this, because it's a big decision.
Yeah.
This one's just too close to call.
So it's been a busy old day. This house hunting's exhausting. 3 incredibly different properties. So let us start with the family home. The vibe wasn't there from you particularly, Lindsay.
You just didn't get that gut feeling of thinking, this is really where we want to be.
It's between the Victorian one, isn't it, and the semi. Is there a clear standout favourite, or are you still deciding between the two?
I think our favourite property is the semi-detached house with the garage.
Ah.
I like the quite solid base from which to start from. A lot of the things we do would be cosmetic to make it look a little bit better.
I think I could really see the potential in it and what we could do to make it a really nice home for us.
Will you go back and have another look?
Hopefully.
I think we might consider it.
Yeah. Don't miss out and don't kick yourselves. So get out now and go and have another look. But good luck. Wherever you end up, I'm sure it'll be a great family home.
Thanks a lot.
Wow, that could have gone either way, but Lindsay and Grant are thinking long term and could really see a future in Anne and Peter's house.
We really
we're
are,
tough
Chuck.
to bits at winning.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We may be getting on a bit, but we still got it there, really.
Oh, we've had a bit of help.
Yeah.
And 5 weeks later, they've had even more good news.
We've sold the house, basically.
And Amanda did really emphasise it, is that it was about that kitchen and dining room.
Yeah.
Yes,
I genuinely
yeah.
think the makeover did help to sell the house.
I feel just so excited with a new beginning,
Yes,
I'd say.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really what we wanted.
Yeah, it was a big relief in the end because we really do need to get moved to Scotland.
And there's good news for Ray and Colin.
Well, we've finally sold. We caught the decorating bug a little bit and finished off another couple of odd jobs that were left lying around. And then we were given an offer about a week ago for the full asking price.
And although Fiona hasn't had an offer yet, she can still see a big improvement.
It's a bit disappointing.
Yeah,
but
that is disappointing.
I think probably the biggest impact has been the living room. I think I definitely over-neutralised when I put it on the market, and now it's probably brought it back to life.